Built in 1948 for the young Princess Elizabeth, this Rolls-Royce is the oldest of 5 that served the royal household.
This is the garage that houses the state Rolls-Royces. We have in fact positions in here for 5 of them. A Rolls-Royce is not a basic car. It's a beautiful piece of engineering.
With the arrival of Her Majesty and Prince Philip, all 2,000 guests are finally assembled.
Her Majesty has got standard Rolls-Royces with no extra gizmos or whatever, just a straightforward working vehicle.
Stark simplicity and high-quality materials give these cars a confident dignity. If you are transported in a car like this, it says you are important, not the car.
The lords in waiting would go to the airport to welcome senior officials in from other countries on behalf of Her Majesty. The state cars actually belong to the state. The cars themselves don't have any number plates on them at all. The reason for this is because they are not privately owned vehicles. They belong to the country.
The country acquired this Rolls-Royce Phantom IV in 1948. Known as Number 5, it is being driven by former Staff Sergeant and now Queen's head chauffeur, Joe Last. For any of the 8 royal chauffeurs, care of the car is every bit as important as driving.
The day-to-day running is what I would do is go around and check the vehicle, lights, tyres, etc. Opening the bonnet. No, bonnet goes over. Making sure he doesn't go right over and bend. Checking dipstick, checking the oil. Visually walk around, checking the radiator. Make sure it's topped up with water. Also checking fan belt, make sure it's not come loose. Visual check to make sure all leads, everything's okay. To make sure the water bottle's full up. Hoses, everything looks okay. No leaks, nothing anywhere. On it. Closing the bonnet. Making sure it's secure. Walking around, checking the tyres. Checking all lights, make sure nothing's broken. Wing mirrors. And in the back, actually, as I can show you, I'll just get the bits out of the side, which are in here. This opens. This key actually opens the boot, which is different to any other press button boats on modern day cars. Then carries its own foot pump. And underneath here you can see actually a complete toolkit. In the boot we have a complete rebuild for the engine if necessary. As you can see here, there is the hoses, brake hoses, new spark plugs, a coil, the springs, valve springs, etc. And underneath here, I'll take my gloves off to lift this out. Underneath here we have everything else that would be needed. Jubilee clips, new wiper blades, gaskets, and everything that's needed for a roadside overhaul. And in here we have all the bulbs, etc. Headlight bulbs, the bulbs that goes in the doors, indicator bulbs, and spare fuses, which are on these ones are still wire, and unlike the modern ones, which are now glass. The thing is, they're all precision made, so it's everything fits exactly, so that there's no rattling around in the boat.
King George VI, the Queen's father, always travelled with his personal mechanic. But today the prospect of Her Majesty sitting on the verge while Joe Last fixes the car seems unlikely. Though it must be comforting to know one's toolkit is up to the job, It will be a spare car, rather than a boot full of spares, that handles any breakdown. While previous attempts to make big cars brash and fashionable have come and gone, the austere dignity of the Royal Fleet ensures their survival to remind us of the tradition of all Britain's grand cars.